and it is simply, I like to let it breathe.
Oh my God.
Oh God. Right. Okay.
No.
Fine. Well, before we head into the Christmas postbag, and we are running drastically out of time because Boyd and I have to go to the theatre. But before we go
and also
into...
I have plans, you know.
Kate probably has plans. But before we get into Santa's sack, steady, let's have a guest. You've heard us discuss the Williams brothers and their excellent boat story already, but they return on New Year's Day with Series 2 of The Tourist on BBC One. And so excited were we that we sent Boyd to speak all about it with the lovely Jamie Dornan. And so excited was Boyd that he forgot his microphone. So if the audio is a little bit ropey, it's Boydie's fault.
Yeah, true.
Here's Boydie and Jamie Dornan.
How are you feeling about The Tourist Season 2 now? Any change in your mindset since I saw you at the launch 2 weeks ago?
No, I guess it just feels more sort of tangible now because it's closer to when we get to, everyone gets to see it. So it's exciting. It feels, it does feel like, I guess when the first series came out, really quickly after it came out, we went to LA for all the madness of the Belfast Awards season stuff. So in a way, in the UK, I wasn't that privy as much from what I'd been told, and I knew it was doing well, but I wasn't really in London feeling it, I guess. So it's been nice actually just being here and getting a sort of palpable sense of how much people enjoyed the first series, and it's cool. I'm excited to serve something up that is the same but different, I guess.
Yeah, because when you signed on for Series 1, famously, that it was supposed to be a limited series, wasn't it? There weren't any plans for it to be returning. When you were asked to sign on for Series 2, did you have any did you have any concerns? Did you talk to the Williams brothers about how it was going to go in Series 2 to make it feasible that it would work as a returning show?
Yeah, to be honest with you, a lot of that was logistical on my part, and I'm sort of flexing whatever sort of creative muscle I felt I had or alliance based on my position within the show and how well the show did. And I was exec producer in the second series, which they told me would happen should it happen. And I said, well, listen, then I've got to have things suit my situation a bit. My family I'll put before everything else. And I said, look, if you guys can come up with a story that makes sense to not be in Australia, which was easy enough. I mean, based on my character remaining Irish and the fact that it's called The Tourist. I mean, we could kind of go anywhere we like with it, I guess. I didn't say much other than I just didn't think I could logistically go back out to Australia so soon after with my family and put my wife through that again and the kids into school again. And we did have a great time. The kids loved it, but you can't be doing that every other year. It's too much. It ended up working out pretty well in the end, and I do think it adds something totally new to the show by proxy of it not being in the Outback. Again, it has a different feel.
And the locations in Series 2 are fantastic. There's a kind of same kind of visual sweep to it.
Yes.
Were you aware of those locations? I mean, obviously, you're from that country, but were these places new to you as well, maybe? I'm
trying to think that it going anywhere new. Yeah, we shot most of it in Wicklow, which I would have spent a fair bit of time in Wicklow and the mountains there and the coastline there. I'd know pretty well. British Bay, I'd know fairly well. But for being a pretty small island, it packs a punch, Ireland, and you can go an hour down the coast or go to the other side of the country to the west, and it's very dramatically different, So when we needed something to hit a bit harder in terms of drama of the coast, we did do that. We went west for a couple of days, went down to Achill Island in Mayo, and just breathtakingly beautiful part of the country. So that was pretty cool. I hadn't been there before, and actually we made that journey down there, and I was like, there's a bay called Keene Bay, which is probably one of the most photographed and Instagrammable beaches in all of Ireland. And I'd finished shooting that day, and we had to drive 4 hours across the breadth of the island and I slept for about 5 hours. Then we filmed all day, and then I had to fly back and go straight to work again, or drive back and go straight to work again. And I was like, this is mad, but I can't not swim there while I'm here. I don't even think I took a photograph of it, but I just wanted to swim in that bay. It was crystal clear water, and it was a beautiful, really sunny day. So that was all new to me. That I made a movie in Mayo actually, but not being to Achill Island. So yeah, it's an endlessly beautiful place, you know.
I know you're a big golfer. Did you manage to play some golf in those places? Near those places?
Yeah, I did. In Dublin, I did. Yeah, it was nice because we started. I think we started at the beginning of March and shot through April, May, June, July. Or started at the beginning of April, shot April, May, June, July, and so there's a lot. You know, in Ireland, even more so than here, like we get really light evenings. You know, that you can the sun doesn't go down until like 10:30 or something like that. So I was very lucky in that a few days, even when I finished work, if we wrapped at 6 or 7 in the evening, I'd managed to get out and play 18 holes after work if we were not too far from a golf course, which was pretty great. You know, and I've got some good mates who live in Dublin, so I was always able to find someone to play with. So, yeah, it was a nice little perk of shooting in that place at that time.
Is that part of your love of golf, the kind of openness of it? You know, the kind of roll, the greens and all of that. Is that partly why you
yeah, absolutely. I always sort of say I sort of spend my life defending golf to people because people have such a sort of like bleak idea of what it is, and the people who are around that sport, and that's. I understand where that comes from and why, and sort of there's an old school side of golf that really needs updated, and I get that, but on the island of Ireland, it's a very accessible sport. You know, you don't have to have loads of money or anything to play golf, and so I sort of see it a little bit differently than that elitist way of the people connotation it has. Yeah, like golf is essentially you're usually somewhere quite beautiful. You're often if you're somewhere on an island like Ireland, you're often near the coast when you're playing, and you're with your mates and you're chatting for 4.5 hours. It's kind of amazing. Yeah. And then you know the social side of it after. I can't say enough good things about the sport.
Well, I think of Larry David in Kirk playing golf. You know,
yes, I mean, I think that's talking about someone who has it in their contract to do certain days at golf courses. Yeah, big time. I think he famously has that. Yeah,
I feel there's a role for you in Kirk as a golf partner for him.
I'd love that if he's going to keep making them. I would love that. Yeah. Legend.
We can make it happen. Back to the tourist, though. There's one scene, talking of that landscape, there's one of my favorite scenes in the first episode is when you're rolling down that hill, endlessly rolling down that hill. Are you a Tom Cruise? Do you do your own rolling downhill stunts?
To a point, yeah. I anything they'll let me do, I will do. And then there'll be times I'll be sort of privy to the fact that there's something they're not going to, they're going to use a stunt double for. I had a great stunt double called Nathan, who actually went when I did go and swim in that bay. Nathan and I went together and had a swim there. And now and again, I'd see something that got him to do, and I'd be like, you know, I get logistically often they're like, look, timing wise, we'd rather have second unit do that whilst we do like a close up of you and some like talky scene over here. But now and again, if I wasn't busy and I saw they're using Nathan, I'd be like, I can do that. Like, guys, I want to do that. So I still love trying to do all that stuff while I feel like I'm able to. Yeah, I mean, it's funny. I think like sometimes the older, like Tom Cruise, you think that sort of stuff slows down, but like he seems to like ramp it up even more, you know. And I'm like, as long as my body's able to, and then you get people like him and Liam Neeson and stuff who seem to be still throwing themselves around the older they get, you know. Who knows what I'll be like when I get to that age.
Yeah. And there's loads of running as well, you know. I mean, you have to.
Oh, mate, that first week or 10 days or 2 weeks, I just ran. Like I just ran. I like the whole sequence of the van and coming out of the van and being picked up and back in the van and escaping from the van and running from the van. You know, the sort of big part of the opening sequence was similar to the opening sequence in the first series with the car chase, big set pieces. And in the first series, the car chase took, a couple of weeks, I think. But I was sat down for all of it. Like I was hot. I was in a dusty, hot car. Yeah. But at least I had a seat. This time I'm literally running around. I've really had to be in sort of peak fitness for that. I have to say it was sort of endlessly running.
Yeah, I bet. Talking of Harry, the Williams brothers, their incredible kind of scripts and style and tone they have. I don't know if you watched Boat Story, which I think has been fantastic.
Yeah, it's absolutely brilliant. I've only seen 2 episodes.
Right.
I think it's perfectly mad and just like, yeah, I love it. It's I guess it's similar to Tourist in a way. Like you're either going to be really into what they're doing tonally with that, or you're just not. And I know there's lots of people that maybe aren't, but like, so if you're into it, you're sort of overwhelmingly into it. Yeah. And I think I fall into that category. I just love it. Like you're watching, just going like, no one else on TV is doing this madness, you know, and you can't like just slip it into a box. It is just totally unique, and they get brilliant actors, and yeah, I love it. You've just reminded me. Actually, I really need to get the other 4 episodes or whatever, finish it, because I have been loving it, but I've been too much press to.
Yeah. I mean, it gets even more extraordinary and better as it goes on. I mean, obviously not as good as The Tourist of the 2.
No, of course.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. And there is something kind of there's something like that mixture of violence and tension and thriller with great humor and comedy. That feels like a unique thing to them. Their sense of humor that comes out and that is definitely there in The Tourist, and even more. I think season 2 feels even funnier in a way than season 1.
I think we had a bit of a license to lean into it more because we knew it had worked from the first series, and we realized that was a big part of what people liked about the first series. So let's lean into that more. And it's almost got its own kind of slightly different humor because it's sort of everybody's Irish now, or majority are Irish. So the Elliot's humor and the sort of Irish humor fits into it in a different way now compared to the first series. So yeah, it was a lot of fun getting to do that, and I think. It's sort of refreshing. It sort of needs it, and it sort of just softens everything.
And there is a kind of heart and soul to it as well. I think Elliot's relationship with Helen particularly gives it that real rooting in something emotional and tangible. That feels like ramped up from series 1.
Yeah, totally. And I think that it's important. Like you can have all the caper in the world, and getting up to all sorts, and all the gags and all the the sort of fun of it. But you're only going to enjoy that, and that's only going to be earned if you care about the people at the center of it, and hopefully you really care about Elliot and Helen. And there's a huge emotional punch there. I have to cry loads, and like I really had to. I've many days, particularly towards. And there's a final couple of episodes. I've loads of like sort of moments where I'm a bit broken emotionally, and yeah, I think you need that. You sort of need the characters to get to that point, and yeah, because I think it is from afar kind of easy to see it. It's all just this madness and nothing, But actually, no, you're right. At the core of it, there's a real heart to it, and you should really care about the people, and you should really care for Elliot to sort of find out this stuff about himself and be on that journey with him.
Absolutely, yeah. Now, this goes out like series 1. It goes out on New Year's Day on BBC One. Do you know you're up against Toby Jones on ITV, who you've worked with?
Yeah.
I'm sure you're very friendly with. How do you feel about that? And will you be watching it? Will you gather friends and family around to watch it, or do you not like watching yourself in that way? I go through phases of that. Probably in a phase at the moment where I really can't stand watching myself. To be honest with you. I'll watch enough to be able to do press, because sometimes in the edit all kinds of stuff's changing and I don't want to be saying the wrong thing. So I've seen 1 episode of this season. I saw all of the first series. I did because my wife loved it and she just wanted to watch it. So rather than just go and sit in another room with a book, I thought I'll watch it with her, and I did enjoy it. But that was a while ago, and things changed, and then so suddenly that was like I was in a different phase, and at the moment I'm in a phase where I can't really bear the idea of it. But look, I know my wife will want to watch it again, and I'll probably will end up seeing it.
and maybe I'll record Toby's show.
Yeah, he should. Toby show, I have to say, is great. They're both brilliant.
Is it? He's one of the best, isn't he? I mean, he's absolutely brilliant.
Totally. Yeah, I hosted the screening of that as well.
You were?
I don't want to make it about me, but yeah, I did.
Okay.
He's a lovely guy. But thank you so much, Jamie. Cheers. It's brilliant to see you again.
Cheers, boy. I appreciate it.